What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. So today, not outside. Everything's done back there. So now we're here at the workbench. So let's check out what we have running here. All right. So first off, we have this beautiful machined head. So that's been sitting there, and we do have the rocker arm assembly. So before I install the rocker arm assembly and the camshaft back onto the head, I'm not gonna clean this thing dry. I do see a bit of gunk. I'm not gonna disassemble the whole assembly off. I see no need for it. But as you can see, there's a little bit of gunk there, just very tiny little smirks there, etc., etc. And then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the bolts a little bit, the threads, and then go ahead and put assembly lube on that. Same thing with the camshaft, nothing crazy, just a few. It's not even that dirty. I mean, I'm not trying to wipe it completely dry, but then again, I'm gonna put assembly lube, so it doesn't even matter if I actually dry it up. But yeah, just give it a nice wipe down. Once that's done, go ahead and flip this thing over, and then we're gonna go ahead and install it and torque it up. So, oh, and then clean this guy right here. All right, see, that looks better already. There's like some paint here, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. So yeah, just clean, little bits there, and on this side too. I just need to be careful that this thing doesn't separate out, because then I'm gonna have to assemble it back. Pretty happy with how it came out. That's as best as I'm gonna get it. Even the shaft has some shine to it, so that's pretty good. Also, I do recommend using these towels. You get them at AutoZone. These are like, they're bumpy, they're like ridged instead of these. I mean, these are good, but if you're cleaning with like some acetone per se, or any type of liquid, these actually hold up as advertised. They get stiffer. Not sure what's the science behind that, but it's pretty cool. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just wipe down the camshaft and then the gear, and then I think we're ready to flip this thing over and start placing them on here. Alrighty, so I have the camshaft here. I already cleaned half of it up until here. This side looks a little more dull than this side because I use acetone. But something that's been bothering me ever since I took off the cam, or the head for that matter, are these stains. Pretty sure you can see them. Same thing on this side. They're everywhere. So these stains, interesting enough, they're only located on the heel part of the cam lobe. Every cam lobe has a part called the nose, which is the pointiest part, as you can tell, and then it has the heel, right, which is on the underside. All the lobes have it except for the cam journals. You see this one right here, it's just round. That's a cam journal. But the other ones, they have a pointy part and then a round part. So all the stains, interesting enough, are located on the heel for the most part. I'd definitely say for the most part. So I suspected that probably it was I don't know, lack of oil change. Not sure exactly what the stains are. I try to clean it off to the best of my ability. Not all of it is coming off. I mean, I must imagine that I could get it off if I were cleaning it all night long, but I mean, I don't have time for that. So I'm gonna go with it and I'm gonna install it. I did run my finger across the lobes where the stains are at. It doesn't seem sharp, no gouges, no scars, no dents, none of that. So I'm not too concerned. At first I thought it was surface rust, which it could be. I'm gonna go with stains. I'm gonna go with some kind of oil stains. Very weird though, very weird. They might have gotten cooked, obviously, with the heat of the engine. So I don't think it's engine threatening. So we should be good. It's still smooth. It's very, very smooth. I mean, let's take this one for this matter. I mean, obviously with the glove, I mean, we really can't tell how smooth it is, but trust me, I mean, I ran my finger through it and it's smooth. It's not like it's bumpy or rigid, or it has dips or anything in it. So I think we're good. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish cleaning this side, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put assembly lube. So before I took the head off, I mean, car was running phenomenal. So I'm not seeing any crazy pitting, gouges, scars, anything abnormal. So we're just gonna go through with it. Obviously, the best thing to do would be to replace it completely, but that's not in the plan just yet. You guys might be asking too, well, why didn't the machine shop take care of it? Well, that's because they took the head to the machine shop as a bare head, no rocker arm assembly and no camshaft. So that's that. So anyways, I think we're good here. I'm gonna go ahead and put assembly lube and put some on the shafts too and everything, and then we're gonna flip this thing over. All right, so here's the camshaft assembly lube. It's assembly lube, but it's more directed to camshaft, I believe. Supposedly it's 3 times greater than molybdenum disulfide, which is your average assembly lube. So it's more like jelly, if you will. So yeah, it's not as liquidy. Just gonna grab a bunch of the lube, and you're just gonna go ahead and just put it on the heel, on the nose, on the journals, every part of the camshaft. So just make sure. Because trust me, you don't want this thing starting dry on the head. You're gonna get big problems. So yeah, just go ahead and get every inch, every part, every centimeter, and you should be good. All right, so this thing is all lubed up. It's all ready to go. So we are solid. So now I'm gonna go ahead and lube up the little ridges here where the camshaft actually goes. It's already set in the assembly lube there. I just need to spread it around the whole ridge, and then I believe we can go ahead and set in the camshaft. And I did forget one spot right here. Should have made this hole bigger, man. This is ridiculous. All right, so I have assembly lube everywhere here, so it's all good. It barely looks like there's any, but I promise there's some there, so we're good. I just set it in. All right, so that's all set in. So this is the key part right here. So when I removed the head at TDC. So basically, there's a bunch of timing marks along the engine. One of the most important ones right here on the cam gear. So in the cam gear, when it's at TDC, this is supposed to be up, this arrow. It literally says up. So that's up, but you should have it at 0 degrees or 90 degrees, depends how you want to see it. So anyway, so once you set that, you're good. You go ahead and put the rocker arm assembly, you tighten it down, torque it correctly, in specific order, you're solid. But let's say that you leave the cam gear like this, right? It's way off. You might be like, I don't see no problem. Actually, you will run into a problem when you put the rocker arm assembly and start tightening things. Guess what? Some of the lobes that are maybe supposed to be facing one way are facing the other way, and that's gonna lead tension in the wrong springs, because you know the rocker arm assembly and the camshaft go hand in hand. So if you have this thing set at the wrong time, you're gonna have tension from the rocker arm assembly and the cam on, let's say, these 2 springs, right? These 4 springs, sorry, 2 and 3, right? Combustion 2 and 3. And what's gonna happen is if you left the block back there at TDC, guess what? The pistons on 1 and 4 are a certain position, and the other pistons are at another position. So if you have the springs poking out when they're not supposed to be poking out, you're gonna have a big problem. They're gonna kiss, and not in a good way. So that's why it's important to have this thing set at TDC, right? I'll take a look at it again before I actually start tightening down, but that's the idea in terms of having that TDC, because once I tighten this thing down and this thing is at TDC, it's gonna be poking out the correct valves out. So it's just a safety measure, or else you're gonna have a distorted, clapped out, freaking, looks like it's melting metal when the valves kiss against the piston. So that's how you go about it. So let me go ahead and set this, and then we'll get ready to tighten this thing. All right, went ahead and reapplied a little bit more on top. I figured I lost a bit, so it doesn't hurt to go back and ensure that it's all good. All right, so I flipped the rocker arm assembly over very carefully. And now we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of assembly lube. Go ahead and just quickly spread it around, and then we're solid. Also ensuring that the part of the rocker arm, the metal contact, also has lube, so that's all good to go. Right there. Yeah, we're good. Also, I was trying to be a little mindful of the little holes there. I believe those are oil passages throughout the assembly, so I try not to get lube in there. I don't think it should be a big deal if some got in there, but you know, just in case. Place the rocker assembly on there. So now for the torque specs, these 10 bolts, these are 14 foot-pounds, and then these 4 on the outside, those are 104 inch-pounds, which is roughly 9 foot-pounds. This is very cute. So as you can see, it doesn't even say foot-pounds, it says inch-pounds. And this side it says Newton meters. So yeah, so for the outside ones, like I said, it's gonna be 104. So this thing can get a clear shot. 104 is gonna be somewhere right here, right above the 100. So I'm gonna go 4 increments, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, and then, but first we gotta do this one. So yeah, the order is gonna be 1, 2, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, that one, 11, the small one, 12, and then 13, and then 14 down here. So for the first 10, we got to go to 168 foot-pounds, which is going to be somewhere around here by the 160, 168. So once we hit 160, just go up 8 increments. So that'll be for the first 10. So that'll be for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so we're at 160 right now, so they're just need to go up 8 more. Once I go 8, I'll be at 168, because then right above it is 170. All right, honestly right now, I'm just trying to spin it till somewhat gets flush. Obviously starting in an order, right? And then once I see that we're pretty close, then I'll go ahead and really torque it down to the 14 foot-pounds. All right, so all of them are basically snug, barely snug. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start torquing it down. So I'm only going 3, and then on the next one it should already click. This thing doesn't really click, it's like a thump, so watch, you guys will see here. You see that? It's like a thump. It's weird. But anyways, that's the last one. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now I just need the outer 4, which is 104 inch-pounds. I went snug on 1 through 10. I went snug on 11, 12, 13, 14, right? And after I torqued 1 through 10, I already torqued 11, 12, I think 13. We're about to find out right now. It should be really close. Okay, yeah, you see? So 13 is good. And then 14. I'm at such a weird angle here, man. This is annoying. You guys can just like hear. Okay, it clicked. Oh yeah, so make sure you run snug 1 through 14 all the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Once you run snug by hand, give it a few turns, right? 1 through 14 again. It's gonna be 1 socket for 10 and then another socket for the 4. And then when you torque it down, right, until it clicks, that kind of like thumps. It's weird. So you guys heard it already. So yeah, thump, 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 thump. And then this is what I just showed you guys right now, right? The thump, 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 and then thump. I just showed you guys that one. You guys heard. I was at a weird angle, but we're good. Also, remember, you don't want to forget to go back down to 104. Remember, for the first 10, the first round, when you're torquing it, it's going to be 168, but then you got to drop back down to 104 inch-pounds. So freaking close, man. So close. Soon, very soon. Alright, homies, so that's basically it for today. Next time we should get this car cranking up again, so just stay tuned for next time. Alright guys, take care. Peace.